For years, Alaska has been known for its wildlife and its below freezing temperatures. The last frontier, also known as the 49th state, has been stereotyped as nothing more than a place of scenic views and family vacations. Little is known about the highly active and productive city of Anchorage, which sits on the harbor of Alaska. Talent has spawned on the Alaskan hip-hop scene. Congruent to their counterparts in the lower 48, Alaska is also known for its nice cars, jewelry, and beautiful women.
The cold streets of Alaska. I'm known around my town, I'm the shit in your city. I'm known around this world like I'm P. Diddy, cause I'm major, major, major. All my niggas, we major. I'm known on that block, I'm known for busting them shots. I done did what it takes to rise to the top, cause I'm major, major, major. All my niggas, we major. I'm known around my town, I'm the shit in your city. I'm known around this world like I'm P. Diddy, cause I'm major, major, major. All my niggas, we major. I'm known on that block, I'm known for busting them shots. I done did what it takes to rise to the top, cause I'm major, major, major. All my niggas, we major. I'm known around my town, I'm the shit in your city. I'm known around this world like I'm P. Diddy, cause I'm major, major, major. All my niggas, we major.
hard-work and effort for various artists, it is only a matter of time before someone in this pool of talent breaks through the mainstream.
The cold streets of Alaska.
In the mid-'80s, a rap group called PBL, Prohibited by Law, considered to be the pioneers of organized rap music in Anchorage, was formed with some of Alaska's most inept musicians.
A PBL black sheep, I'm creeping in my black Grand Prix and I'm mystique, but I'm packing them 12 deep for brothers that wanna leap, but Kermit the Frogs get beat. I thought about pulling my gauge but left it under the seat, because black on black killings is another way of lynching with a nigga holding a rope, so feel the tension.
Little did people know that shadowing in the background as a backup dancer was a 12-year-old Shawn Sullivan, who would soon become known to the world as Joker the Bailbondsman. After several releases and failed attempts at landing a record deal, PBL dismembered in the mid-'90s.
And I'll probably say, fast forwarding a little bit, when I was in about maybe 6th or 7th grade, I had joined this group called PBL, which was Prohibited by Law. I was real young, about 12 years old, in 6th or 7th grade, and these guys were like older dudes, like, you know, popular, getting money. Some of them was some real get money dudes, and it was just something that I, you know, when I heard about them, it was just like, man, I had to be a part of it. So I kind of auditioned as a dancer. Even though I did rap and write rhymes back then, I was just so young that my music writing, you know, I was too young for it to be taken seriously. So eventually, you know, they auditioned me. I got in as a dancer, so I was able to like learn a lot of things, because these guys was, you know, they were like the pioneers. They were creating records and in the studio doing all the things that I dreamed about doing. So I would say after so long, you know, after trying to land a deal and trying to get signed, the group kind of faded away. And I took like a lot of the things that I learned from these older individuals, and I kind of branched off on my own and started moving in my own direction as music. And I started hustling and saved up enough money to where I could start buying music equipment and things like that.
Shawn, devastated at the group's demise, decided to take everything that he had learned from his older counterparts and branch off in his own direction. In the mid-'90s, Shawn started a label with a high school friend, Maurice King, called Inlet City Records. In 1999, Shawn cold-called BET, and after a few months of bugging the program department, convinced BET to come to Anchorage and do a story on hip-hop in Alaska.
All of our dreams doing this music as youngsters in hip-hop is to get on BET, so I just decided one day to cold call BET, called them up and said, hey, this is Shawn. I'm up here in Anchorage, Alaska. I'd like to try to get you guys up here for a hip-hop show. After calling, conversing back and forth for several different months, I got put in tune with a guy named Craig Henry, who at the time was the producer of a show on BET, and we kind of just hit it off. I sent him a package with like 5 or 6 albums in it. He listened to it, seen the bio. I was like, well, listen, man, if you can, you know, make the arrangements for us to come out there, you know, we'll fly out there and do a show on hip-hop in Alaska. So I think the rest after that was kind of like pretty much history. So once we brought them up to Alaska, it was kind of like an eye-opener, because everybody was like, wow. And then once it aired on BET, it was just, I mean, it was just really something large for us. It was really ahead of our time, because we weren't really ready for the impact that that had. So it was kind of like we were getting ahead of ourselves, but yet the exposure was priceless. People from all over the world recognized us from that episode that happened on BET. And and I just kept the line of communications open as far as me still communicating with BET. So as years to come, I would submit videos to them. And I remember I was shooting video after video, and I was submitting them, and they just weren't, BET wasn't really feeling them, because we weren't ready. We didn't have the actual buzz to go with them. We didn't have the CD sales. And my boy Tuma Basa was just like, man, listen, man, you keep shooting all of these different videos, and I see you hustling, but you know, these aren't really what we're looking for as far as what we're trying to bring into our programming right now. But he was like, we have a new show coming on called BET's Uncut, which will be airing late night, and if you shoot us some footage, we'll actually see what it is and how things work out for that. So after shooting all them different videos and getting denied, it was like, man, we shot the video that Tuma was telling us about. It was called Let Me See Your Ass Drop. It was a song I had written for Little Bomber. We shot the video, did the song, we submitted it. You know, I was like, man, they're gonna deny me again. It's like the third or fourth video I had submitted. But I remember the call, it was like yesterday, when I reached out to him, Tuma was like, yo, man, that was perfect. That was exactly what we're looking for. So I was just like, what? I didn't, you know, it was amazing for me. I didn't really know how to like accept it. So once the video aired and I'm sitting up late at night at home and I'm watching Uncut and the video came on, it was just like the feeling of euphoria.
Let me see that ass drop, get hot so you can't take no more. Get your ass on the floor, pop your collars and get low. How far can you go to start a disaster? You gotta be strong. And will I make it out the club without having to do anything wrong? They playing my song, the ladies love it when I give it to them. I zoom in on my suspect and I run.
And it was amazing. I can't describe the feeling that I had of me doing music my whole life and finally my hard work paying off with me being able to get my video aired on BET. It was a blessing for me. It was amazing. And just from there, things just kind of, you know, things took off. I kept submitting them videos. I did one with Bizzy Bone called Ain't Nothing Like Money in a Ziploc Bag.
Ain't nothing like money in a Ziploc bag, That's right. Smash with the cash, Ain't nothing like money in a Ziploc bag, That's right. Smash with the cash.
Which is probably my most known video that I've had on there up to date. Shout out to Bizzy Bone for giving me that opportunity. That's kind of like the landmark that got a lot of people out there familiar with music in Alaska.
We met this young guy by the name of Joker the Bailbondsman, or more affectionately, his mama named him Shawn Sullivan. He was a very tenacious individual, to say the least. He would always come to the radio station with his mixtape, with some new song that he did in his basement, in his buddy's garage, in his back room. And he was just hungry. He was really, 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 really hungry. And that was one of those things that kind of stood out to us here at the radio station. We became friends, and the guy just kept on making music and kept on pushing forward for the hip-hop community here in Alaska. So if I would explain Joker, the Bailbondsman, the artist, I would call him an Alaskan hip-hop pioneer.
The influence that Joker, the Bailbondsman, put on hip-hop, man, he's been doing it real big out here. Man, he was doing it real nice when he was putting the videos out in the Uncut. You know, wasn't nobody else doing that around here. And that made people kind of look at Alaska like, whoa, what's going on out there? What they got going on down over there? You see this dude, Joker the Bailbondsman? So, you know, he's been rocking for a very long time.
Yeah.
I've been knowing him forever.
Me too.
As a matter of fact, I know he might get mad at me saying this, but man, he used to dance back in the days, you know what I'm saying? When I was on the mic rapping, he was in the backstage, you know what I'm saying, doing his little thing and stuff, man. So, you know, he's from way back, you know what I'm saying? He helped contribute a lot to hip-hop up here in Alaska, period.
Yeah,
not even just through the music, but through dancing and a whole bunch of other things that I can mention, but, you know what I'm saying, yeah, he's contributed a whole lot.
I've been rocking with him a long time, the little homie, you know, and, you know, he's definitely just got drive, you know, and he doesn't accept no for an answer. And now that he's home, I hope that the drive is still the same, you know. I hope the drive is still the same. He definitely influenced a lot of people. He definitely, you know, took his losses like a man. And, you know, he's off his back now and standing once again. I'm happy he's home.
What influence did Joker the Bailbondsman put on Alaska hip-hop? Wow, that's a good one. He had a whole lot of influence, but I would say he made everybody believe, myself included, he made everybody believe that you can actually make it and actually achieve success from here, not going somewhere else and being a surrogate citizen for another city. You know, he made it possible. I mean, because I was right there for it all. I mean, you know, this man brought Rap City up here. This man hosted Rap City. I mean, this man had done a whole lot for the town. He's had so many influences though, man. I mean, he didn't influence me. I would say he influenced the grind, the hustle. He showed a whole lot of people that you could put a studio in your house, in your room or in your bathroom or whatever, and you know, basically turn shit to sugar, man. That's what it was, because that's what we did.
What influence that JOKERTHEBAILBONDSMAN put on Alaska is a major, man. He's brought a lot of light to Alaska that people don't realize. You know what I mean? When he started putting all his videos and stuff out on Uncut, BET Uncut and all that, you know, that people didn't realize there was people in Alaska and it was in the hood and there was people rapping and stuff, you know, like that. So I would go all the way to Anchorage. I'm not Anchorage, but I would go all the way to South Florida. And they would ask me, where you from? I'd be like, Anchorage, last year. Oh, man, you know Joker the Bell? I'd be like, yeah, I know Joker. Like, oh, man, he got his videos on film. I heard it. I'm like, wow, okay. You know, that was a big, you know, that's a big influence that he then did to Alaska, you know. But some people that are, you know, younger nowadays don't really know that, you know what I mean? But if you do check your homework, he put Alaska on the map a lot with his BET Undercut videos and the way he constructed his business and doing music around here, and not bringing shows, but doing shows out of town and putting albums out, repeated albums out, you know, doing it all himself, you know what I mean? Having artists and stuff, you know what I mean? And having a whole record company showing people how to do this stuff, you know. He had a big influence on me, you know what I mean? I watched him do his stuff and I said, shoot, I can do the same thing, you know what I mean? Let me try mine, you know, and this is where I'm at now, you know what I mean? So, you know, he came over and he's the one who showed me how to get my first MPC, you know. He had an MPC before me, you know. I didn't even know what MPC was. I was just making beats off a keyboard, that was it. And he showed me what an MPC was, and I got an MPC like 3 weeks later, you know. I ain't never looked back since then.
What influence did JOKERTHEBAILBONDSMAN put on Alaska hip-hop?
Everything. Mr. BET Uncut, he'd been in the paper, like flat out. People don't really know, but I mean, the whole entire reason I even know there was a local scene or even local music was because he was in the newspaper in the Anchorage Daily News 10 something years ago, 10, 12 years ago, for the Alaska anthem he put out. And if that wasn't even there and I didn't wake up that day and pick that up, I probably never would even be here doing what I'm doing in the local scene. So he has the biggest influence because he made it all the way to the top. Any local artist out here right now who's trying to do something or be in the XXL or be on BET or MTV like that, Joker made it. He's shaking hands with Suge Knight. He in pictures with everybody. Lil Wayne, Martha Stewart. He made it. He's been in XXL. He's made it all the way. So for anybody to be out here saying that no one from Alaska made it already, they're lying.
You can explain Alaskan music in one word, what would it be?
If I can explain Alaskan music in one word, if I can explain Alaska hip-hop music in one word, all right. Progressive. Came a long way, you know what I mean?
When you think about Alaskan hip-hop music, who's the number one thought that comes to mind?
When I think about Alaska hip-hop music, the number one person that comes to my mind, of course, is going to always be my main man, you know, my brother, you know what I mean, Joker. You know what I'm saying? Put a lot of work in, you know what I'm saying? And I was to just be blessed enough to be a part of that whole movement. You see what I'm saying? So I would say Joker.
If there was one hip hop artist that you could meet and have come right in here in Roscoe's, who would it be?
A hip hop artist? It'd probably be Jay-Z, because I would make sure that he brought Beyonce.
When you think of Alaska hip hop, who's the first artist that come to your mind?
When I think of Alaska hip-hop, who's the first artist that come in my mind? I would have to say Joker the Bailbondsman, simply for the fact that I think that Joker was the first person that really got noticed up here in Alaska with the video that played national on what was it, MTV or something of that nature, you know, BET. And so I think that Joker the Bailbondsman would be the first name that would come to my mind. But as you and me both know, there are other artists, just like, to name a few, Black, when he came out with his album, the military album, man, that song was just major. And then you got the other artists from Unbreakable to Block to all the guys that are up and coming, and they're really putting out beautiful videos. They look and they're putting out really nice music. So coming from an Alaska perspective, I think that the rest of the United States should embrace Alaskan hip hop.
What influence has Joker the Bailbondsman given Alaska hip hop?
What influences have Joker the Bailbondsman gave Alaska hip hop? Man, he the pioneer, man. Be real, like, Joker's the pioneer, man. Like, you know what I mean? A lot of niggas hate on him, you know what I mean? But to me, Joker was the blueprint. You know what I mean? Joker showed you it can be done. That's how I feel. He showed everybody else, man, it can be done, man. Regardless of we being in Alaska or whatever, it can be done. People, well, I'm from Alabama. People are talking about the Joker in Alabama, you feel what I'm saying? So it can be done, you know what I mean? So for me, I learned a lot of what I do now, more business-wise from the Joker, because the Joker was always business. You understand what I'm saying? Even when I was young, you know what I mean? I was just like little on the scene. I mean, not little like that, but I'm young, you know what I mean? So, but I seen him, he showed everybody the business, and niggas just started, some niggas followed suit, some niggas didn't, you know what I mean? But Joker, yeah, he the pioneer, man.
How has Joker the Bailbondsman influenced Alaska hip hop today?
Well, okay, first and foremost, you know, that's my guy, okay?
Okay.
And he's done more for 907 hip hop than any other artist ever has. Before you know, he got into his situation. I mean,
vacation.
Yeah. He was on his way, man. It was just a matter of time before, you know, somebody was gonna sign him and
yeah, definitely,
and his whole team. He was a hard worker, man.
And I know he is.
And
man.
He took it so serious. And you know, before, you know, anybody was doing videos, he was doing videos.
Yep, I seen those. BT Uncut.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was doing that, okay? So he's been a huge influence on not just, you know, other MCs up here, but Joker brought Alaska credibility, because nobody was doing it, man. Nobody was doing what he was doing. He was grinding. He was networking. He was doing things up here. He was doing things out of state.
Yeah.
He was just making major power moves. And that whole, you know, BET thing, man, that was huge. I mean, when you talk to people now about Alaska hip hop, they automatically say, "What's up with Joker?"
Yeah.
Because
Where's
of the
Joker
whole,
at?
yeah, because of the whole BET thing. So, you know, he's the man. and it's still, you know, IE all day, every day. That's industrial indemnity. Excuse me, industrial etiquette. That's the name of his team, and I'm so glad that he's home, man.
Yeah, I've just recently, or personally, just met him recently. Him and his crew with Max and BB and all them, and I can just tell by how they do business professionally, and they're pushing and grinding. Cause I've been talking to the Joker like every day, and we've got stuff in the works, you know.
Yeah.
But
no, man, he's
I
a
could
good
just
dude,
tell
man.
his push on the business side of it, everything.
Yeah, he's always been like that.
People don't know, but he's pushing hard, you know. And
he's always been focused, man.
Yeah, definitely.
He has always been that, and I just want to say once again, he did things that no other artist up here has ever done.
Yeah.
So, in my humble opinion, he's probably the most successful 907 rapper ever. I mean, that's, you know,
I agree with you.
debatable by a lot of people, but I mean, I've seen everybody, man.
Yeah, you've been around here.
I've seen everybody, and no one has done what he's done. So definitely, man, shout out to my man Joker.
Joker the Bailbondsman.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. He's a great dude, because I haven't known him for too long, but I could just tell by his personality and how humble he is. He's had time, you know, and I could just tell that he's pushing. He's gonna get where he needs to be.
No question, no question.
He's gonna get there from where he left off.
Just a matter of time, man.
Exactly.
Just a matter of time.
Basically, it's just been a constant grind. Everything, I think a lot of it pertains down to hustle and communication. Everything I've ever done, I've accomplished has just been through, you know, assertive communication. From me calling up the Source magazine, getting write-ups in the Source, getting write-ups in the Vibe. It's all based off of your communication skills, and you know, perception is everything. So that first conversation and that first initial meeting that you have with individuals is going to pretty much determine the future and the likelihood of doing business with individuals in the future.
My boy Christopher, for him it's revelation. He's just another brother dead in the nation. But to me was my homie. I thought homie didn't play that until they showed him and me. See? But now I see that I could die tomorrow with a R.I.P. Damn, imagine that one. Sometimes I picture myself being killed by a gun. My mother and family's always crying, cause my other family members is always dying. And I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. I just can't believe that it's really